Blessings, everyone. Today, Spirit has been nudging in the most magical way this morning. I woke to the Song of the Fae. And so I would like to offer an oracle reading that brings through that childlike wonder, that beautiful spirit of nature, the elementals, and the glorious and peaceful feeling of beginnings. And so with that, first I would like to say thank you to Source for allowing me to be the medium of light. And I ask the beautiful Fae to step forward in their wonder and joy and help to bring a message for our highest good. Thank you. I'm grateful. Today was a magical way to wake up. There was a little bird that was sitting on the windowsill, and it was singing and singing and singing, and I had to close my eyes and just listen because it felt like a symphony of light. And the message that came through right away from the Fae was simply, we sing because we have joy. Not with expectation, not even with an intention, but just joy. And so when I woke up this morning, I was working with pink amethyst and just listening, and it felt like the bird song was very heightened this morning, and everything feels very vivid. So I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that right now, but it seems like the colors are even more vivid than they've been. And it's sparking other senses. It feels like the hearing is more heightened with the visuals, and taste is more heightened with touch. It's very interesting, and I'd love to hear if anybody else is experiencing these connections. So after I've shuffled, I do 3 shuffles. I just pull one card, and usually it will just come up. They're saying to take this one. It's moved up out of the deck. Light. The Fairy Queen of Light comes to shed love and light onto your current situation and to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. And it's interesting, she has beautiful butterfly wings, white ones, and this morning Spirit was saying to put on your white butterfly, put on the white butterfly, that along with change comes the beautiful celebration. I was having a discussion yesterday with Sasha, and we were talking about butterflies and gravity, and Spirit was saying this morning when I was listening to the birds singing that we focus so much on the densities here, that energy. We notice when we're grounding into the earth so much. Even something simple like we've been in the water. I don't know if anybody's a swimmer here, but they're showing me like a swimming pool because I love to swim, or maybe out in the ocean or a lake. And that sensation of feeling weightless and then stepping out of the water and recognizing the gravity, recognizing the density. And one of the things Spirit is reminding me with the wings is that it doesn't take a lot to shift the awareness. It doesn't take a lot to notice. Something simple like stepping out of a body of water makes us recognize how dense it is here. And so they're saying that when we're grounding into the earth and we're working with the elementals and the Fae, all we have to do simply is remind ourselves that this is an illusion, that there isn't any less gravity when we're floating in the water, or there isn't any less gravity when we're soaring with our wings. We're still in Earth School, and we're still here. We're very present, and we're on a human journey. So though we're working with elementals, and we're working with Spirit, and we're working with angels and all of the light beings and Source, to remember that connection is there, and it doesn't really matter whether we're feeling the densities, we're grounded into the earth, or we're floating in the euphoric feeling of spirit and dreamland. There's no difference. It doesn't shift anything. It's just a perception, and that's one of the most powerful ways that we can notice it. And so the Fae are stepping forward and they're talking about the light. And as I said earlier, I've noticed, and Spirit is just reminding me, the noticing of all these beautiful, vivid colors and the vividness and everything today. I'm looking at the window as I'm connecting, and I'm seeing the green leaves, and they just feel like the light is emanating from them. That everything around right now is just emanating light. That the color is just that perception that we're noticing. It's that shift in awareness. The vividness is something that is within us. And the light is something that always is and always will be. And it comes from us. And it comes from everything in creation. And so they're saying, as we're noticing these things, these sensations, and the colors of the summer that are creeping up, especially in the northern hemisphere, we're actually recognizing that perception. We're recognizing the shift of attention and awareness. And this is how we play. This is how we find these moments of solace and peace and joy. That we have to remember that there's a slight bit of concentration. There's a slight bit of being so very present that when we shift our awareness and we notice these things like the light emanating, that we can see that the colors are more vivid. So what the Fae are saying is, remember in these moments of joy, that there's nothing that's changing. Nothing outside of us is any different than it was just a few moments ago. That it's what's within us that we're shifting. It's that tapping into the magic. It's recognizing the light that's pouring through everything that's always been there. And in those moments, we notice the color. We notice the textures. The sensation of smell and touch is heightened. And it only takes that simple moment to shift into that space, that we haven't lost anything, grounding into the earth, noticing that gravity, that density doesn't shift the spiritual in any way. It doesn't lose connection. It doesn't go away. It doesn't silence. We're just learning to use our multi-sensory perceptions in a more playful and joyful way. We don't always have to sense danger or taste something to see if we like it. Sometimes we have to notice the texture of it. Sometimes we have to notice the colors. And all of these other things come into play, especially when we're going to enjoy something like picking a tomato off the vine and having a bite. We understand and we go into that space, the Fae are saying, of imagining what it's going to taste like. But stop a moment before we do that, and we're just eating for hunger or walking in the park to release all the energy or taking our shoes off because our shoes hurt. But in those moments, feel what it feels like to taste the tomato. Smell it. Look at the beautiful textures and the color and the shape. Listen to the sound of life that's permeating in all of these things. When we take our shoes off and ground, we're sitting with our feet in the grass. We're noticing how present we are. We're feeling the earth. It's almost as our feet become the multi-sensory beings. It's bringing energy up and releasing energy. We're tasting the life through our root chakra. We're bringing that up in through our beingness. And then there's this innate sense of joy and light that pours through because we're in our fullness, when we're using the senses to navigate this density in our school. And so with this, the Fae are saying, please recognize today when we're out and about on our journey, whatever that is for us, all the different explorations, all the different senses, all the different feelings, all the different emotions. Play with them. See them as light. It's all part of the light. It's all part of the joy. It's all part of our connection to all that is. We sometimes get so asphyxiated on the sensations, the gut feelings of what are we doing, or noticing our breathing and noticing tensions or releasing energy, that we're forgetting the gift of the experience of all of the senses, all of the emotions, that we spend so much time labeling everything. And we realize in this space that everything feels separate, but we want to intertwine. What does it feel like to fall in love as we taste? What is it like to feel joy and excitement as we touch? All of these things, it can bring us very present, but it can also remind us how expanded our consciousness is. So they're pulling their energy back. I thank you so very much for allowing me to bring this message today. Many love, blessings for everyone, and I hope that wherever you are right now, you get a chance to go outside and connect with the elementals and the Fae, because they're out just bringing so much joy.